if Mexican Americans are looking upon me as a leader, then we're really in trouble, because I never ran for no office. I invented the best Paul Rodriguez I can, and I try to do that every day. I was born in Culiacan, Sinaloa, a part of Mexico that has the fame of exporting, drugs. When I came to America, I was 2 years old, 3 years old almost. My family, we were just migrant farm workers, and we moved to Compton in 1968. A week later, the riots exploded after the death of Dr. King. And I remember seeing tanks that President Johnson had sent. We were the first Latino family there, and I was baffled, and I would ask a lot of questions of my parents, and they didn't know. The poverty was so terrible, so bad, and I loved my mom so much that I just determined myself to be something. It was a teacher that told me that I was a crack up in class, to quit wasting her time and the time of everybody else, and she took me to the Comedy Store with all my classmates on amateur night, on a Monday night. And once I got up on stage, an epiphany happened. I realized this is what I was born to do. And I never went back to school. There was just no reason to. I wasn't going to be anything else but this. There was no one I could look up. There wasn't anyone I could say, well, he's a Mexican comic. Let me see how he does it. So I kind of invented myself. And a lot of the jokes I came up with, I'm not proud of. Taco Bell is a Mexican phone company. Yeah, isn't it? So a lot of these jokes, I received a lot of criticism from my own people, Mexican Americans. I remember them telling me that I was putting them down, making fun of them, and I needed the money now. My mom had to get out of there. It was very dangerous. And she told me, she goes, listen, being first. Let me tell you about being first. She said, Christopher Columbus discovered America, and he died of syphilis and was buried in an anonymous grave in the Dominican Republic. There goes your first. I'm working at the Comedy Store, making $15 a night. I'm living in my car. Norman Lear, a big-time producer at the time, he had written All in the Family. He says, have you had any acting experience? I said, all my life. Overnight, he gave me more money than I knew what to do with. And my program, A.K. Pablo, came out. It was the first, it's in the Smithsonian, first sitcom on an American television with Mexican Americans as the host. It was on ABC. I got cast in a movie called, it was called DC Cab. I remember when the movie came out, there was a billboard. I remember driving down Sunset Boulevard and seeing my face up there. And I said, oh, Jesus, how lucky could I be? Now that Mexican is good looking, Life was good, and I feel like no matter what else happened to me in my life, I've done this, and this is going to be permanent. I am one of the investors of the Laugh Factory, and I'm proud to tell you that Comedy Camp, where we get kids from the inner city, and we get some of the most famous, well-known comedians, Jamie Foxx, people like that, who go in on their Saturday on their own nickel without cameras and we'll talk to these youngsters, and we'll teach them how to come out of their shell and how to get confidence, how to stand in front of a group of strangers and break the ice with a little joke. It's one of the best things I've been part of. My mother always used to sweep the front of her house, and the wind would blow, and there'd be beer cans, and it'd be a mess, and she'd be there in the morning sweeping again. I go, bah, forget about it. It's a waste of time. She goes, I can't sweep the whole street, but I can sweep the front of my street, and then Mrs. Garcia across the street might want to sweep hers, and then it'll be contagious. Before we know, we'll have a clean street. I got the message, Mama. That's what I'm trying to do.